All right, well, welcome back to the table for another 30 with the team. Topics today include, among others, cheese whiz, bologna sandwiches. Those are the things that I ate when I was a kid going to school. So it was in my lunch.
My mouth a little bit.
Yeah, right. But I turned out okay. Like I really, I don't have any major health concerns.
That you know of.
Not having to struggle with weight or anything like that. But that's certainly not the case for a lot of people. In this society, we have a lot of huge issues around obesity, around childhood diabetes, and some organizations are pushing it to that limit of how do we battle these childhood diseases, and some are going as far as telling parents what they should and shouldn't be packing in their kids' lunches. And a news item caught your eye this week. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, a woman had sent her 2 kids to daycare with, I would deem, a delicious, well-balanced lunch. I think there was roast beef, carrots. It was leftover, so roast beef, carrots, I think milk.
Oranges.
Oranges,
Yeah.
so like a good...
Sounds like Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, like a
Mashed potatoes is mashed potatoes.
It's better than I eat. And, but I guess there was no grains in there, so the daycare took it upon themselves to supplement the lunch with Ritz crackers, and then they fined her $10. And I just think, like, where's the line here? Like, I get, like, it was very by the book, right? Because if you look at it, yeah, maybe there's no grains, but like Ritz crackers, really?
There's no grains in
And
Ritz
yeah,
crackers.
It's not grain. Going by the letter of the law, there is grain, but there's also saturated fat, a lot of salt. It's like the grains in it are far like outweighed by all the rest of it.
But is it the school's place to tell that mother? I think I would have taken it pretty personally. That's the thing. Like, whoa, like what are you trying to say? That I don't take care of my child properly? I think it's where's that line drawn, and where can the school step in? I think they cross the line personally, but
I mean, I feel like a lot of our discussion topics come down to common sense again, and this is one of those things where common sense didn't prevail. I understand why some of these things are in place, because you do want to make sure that kids are getting good meals, and it's hard for them to focus in class if they're not eating healthy foods. This is essential for learning. But then you have it, the letter of the law, but then you take it out on the wrong person. I mean, really, is that where your energy is going, for this person who made roast beef the night before?
Yeah, I think it's clearly put in place to stop the bolognas and to stop the cheese whizzes and all the rest. Are you about to say what's wrong with bologna?
Why would you stop? Like, I don't see it still. Like, yeah, it may not be the healthiest, but like, it's not your place to stop that. I don't think. Like, I told you guys, like, my mom sent me to school every day with Lunchables, which is like the worst possible lunch. She would have been fined so much money. Like, she would have been poor because she would have gotten fined every day. But I don't think it's appropriate for the school to be like, you're not feeding your child healthy. I think I turned out just perfectly fine.
You did.
I did. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks so much. I mean, I polished off a box of Triscuits yesterday in one sitting, but
you got so many grains in that Triscuit.
You got enough grains.
You're good for the week.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, I really don't think it's the school's place. I don't. No.
Did you all have healthy lunches growing up? And
yeah, I did. See, but the thing is, though, like, I could only eat so many sandwiches. Like, my mom, God bless her, she's an amazing woman, amazing. But she makes sandwiches every day, and you can only eat sandwiches ad nauseum, and then I would actually feed my sandwiches to a dog on the way to school all the time. And like because Pumpkin, her name was, and she was a big German Shepherd, and she spent her entire lifetime outside on a chain.
Waiting for you.
And she was vicious when I first met her. But then after that, Pumpkin was like, she loved sandwiches. And I would like the nicest dog you ever meet, and she just wanted sandwiches. That's all she needed.
Did you ever feel bad for giving away your lunch? Like, your mom made that sandwich.
What did you eat instead of the sandwich after that?
Doritos.
I just shake other kids down for their lunch. No, I'm just joking. No, that's not true actually at all. But what I did was I would just like beg and borrow other things, and sometimes like your buddies would like get you some McDonald's French fries of theirs or whatever, because we had McDonald's. I shouldn't even be promoting this at all on TV.
Well, that's the thing, is that I mean, my mom did pretty well, I think, too. But there was a lot of just kid stuff. Like, I would just throw my apple in the garbage almost every day. I hated apples. Man, you gotta bite into them. They're the one fruit that just goes bad in my fruit bowl, like, every single week. Nobody's got time.
You buy them though because you're like, I'm going to start.
Apples. Those are.
I'm gonna get there eventually.
Yeah, no, but like we also had very, very nutritious dinners. Like, so whatever, like sandwich and some cookies and whatever for lunch. But the supper time we sat down as a family and we had like those home cooked meals.
That was too.
I don't know. I feel like
that's
more
what's
important.
lacking is dinner time is almost obsolete now because everybody's busy schedules. So that is, I think, why the increase of fast foods. And so that spilled into lunches and that spilled into breakfast. And oh, heaven forbid your child goes to school without breakfast.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know.
At one time.
One time.
One
So
time.
if that's the parents' fault, then what do, as parents, have rights to the school? So can we say to the school, I don't like the way you're teaching this, or why are you teaching this?
People do that.
And they do that, but
Yeah.
it falls on deaf ears. Like there's no fine to the teacher, and you're a bad teacher kind of thing. It's always you're a bad parent for sending bad food or not feeding or whatever. And I don't know. It's just I think they put way too much pressure on that.
There's a supreme lack of Ritz crackers in this kid's lunch.
Well, and they've
Still can't get over that.
They've always had milk in the schools, and so that's always been a way of saying like, well, we're gonna make sure at least they're getting their calcium and that kind of thing. I know that at my kid's school they do have sandwich stuff there, so if a kid comes to school without a lunch, they can make them something. They don't fine parents. I don't know if that's because it's a public school thing. It's probably different than a daycare.
Yeah.
What if you just sign a contract for that? I don't know, like to actually be fined by like this arbitrary ticket. That's what really irks me about it. Like, give the kid the crackers, send him home like a note, but to fine them like. I think it was $5 a kid, so like $10 overall. It's like, give me a break. Yeah. And then you think about how much it actually costs for Ritz crackers.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh, so you're pulling in, you're making like a little bit of money on the side on these Ritz crackers, huh?
You're
Like,
going home and buying more Ritz crackers for yourself with that
or
money.
maybe they're gonna go and buy like a loaf of nice bread, and then they have that themselves.
Exactly. No, it's true. How do you judge how much the fine is even? That's ridiculous. Like they're putting that monetary value on what you didn't do, supposedly didn't do as a parent. I don't have kids, but I think I would take issue to it. I think I would definitely be down at the school saying, are you trying to say that I'm a bad parent? Look me in the eye and tell me I'm a bad parent. And ask that kid now that I'm standing next to him, and he won't lie, because he's not afraid of me at all. Ask him if I'm a good dad.
And that's when Jeff was escorted out of the school.
Well, again, like, I understand policy, but it's one of those things where a good intention just leads to something that is not commonsensical, right? And I really do believe that by and large, most parents are trying to do the best that they can with their kids, and that really should be there in place for the kids that really actually don't have any food in their cupboards at the beginning of the day to make a good lunch. And then how do we help that? How do we change that, not fine that or take a negative stance on it?
You know, and after 15 years of making lunches, I am so happy not to.
I hate it.
I hate it.
Well, you get mad at me.
Yeah.
I get mad at you for giving your sandwiches to dogs. You don't know the
I'm
grief
sorry, Mom.
and the angst.
I love
your
you.
poor mom.
That's the thing. You're just putting things in there that they'll eat and won't give away.
Well, it was
right?
better.
Like, who, like,
It was
Just
better
tell
than
her,
throwing
why
it
don't you-
away, right? I knew at that age that I'm like, my mom went to great lengths to make this for me and provide for me as a mother does. And I'm not going to throw this away. I'm not going to insult her like that. But I am going to feed it to a dog.
That's not insulting at all. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we
I
expect
love nature.
and animals. When we get back, we're going to talk about places where kids should be, which may be in the lunchroom. We expect to see kids in the lunchroom. Maybe we don't expect them to see them other places. We're going to talk about kid zones versus adult zones in just a couple minutes.
Sorry, Mrs. Bromley.